Push-ups are one of those exercises that pretty much everyone does, but most people do them wrong. It's very technique driven, and frequently you don't even think that technique is such an important component of proper push-ups, but really it is. And what you really need to think about with a push-up is that a push-up is basically a moving plank. So you should have your perfect plank figured out. I have another video called The Perfect Plank. Make sure you double check that, and then before you even do the perfect plank video, make sure you understand positional breathing, because it's really going to affect, positional breathing is going to affect your planks, which are going to affect your perfect push-up, okay? But I'm going to break down a perfect push-up technique, just to make sure that you don't hurt your wrists, you don't hurt your hands, and you're not going to hurt your shoulders or your back, okay? So perfect push-up, we always have to think about a perfect push-up as if it's a moving plank like I mentioned before. So the first thing, we're going to get into a plank position. And actually, before I explain that, hand position, okay? When you are in a plank position, flare your hands out big time. This is going to alleviate some of the stress that goes through your wrist. It's going to transfer the load into your fingertips and spread that load out as far as it can. This is going to save your wrists big time, okay? And so it should almost feel like most of the weight is on your thumb and index finger when you're in that position. Okay, so plant your hands on the floor. We're gonna plant them a little bit wider than hip width apart. So if this is, or than shoulder width apart. So if this is shoulder width, we're gonna plant them slightly wider, okay? So, and then also from the front, the important thing is that you make sure when you're doing your push-up that your head stays above your hand. So the position I'm in right now is a perfect push-up position. Your elbows can come out a little bit, but not much more than this. Head is above the hand, fingers are flared. Many times you'll see people doing push-ups where they're up here with their hands, their elbows are way out, and their push-ups look like this. This is a recipe for disaster, okay? Everything needs to come down. Shoulders need to be down. Hands need to be lower than the head, and elbows need to tuck in a little bit. So we're going to plant the hands on the floor, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, okay? And we're going to extend the legs out behind you, and we're going to find that perfect plank position. So in that position, your tailbone tucks under, your glutes squeeze tight, your feet come together, and you push your heels back, okay? So you've got a super locked in body. Abs are tight from this position. Make sure you can breathe. And make sure your breath, when you exhale, you feel that exhale coming from your belly. Your belly should contract as you exhale. Okay, so we've got your lower half locked in. That's in a good position. Your hips are supported. From here, we got to work on the shoulders. We're going to pack the shoulders. That means that you don't have the valley of death between your shoulder blades and you're not rounded out with your shoulders. We're going to find a perfectly packed position. So we're going to take your shoulders and tuck them in, okay? From there, we're going to flare the elbows in a little bit, and you've got a good position here. My head is above the hands, tail is locked, and now we're going to descend carefully and slowly. Then we're going to exhale as you come back up. That's the point where your body needs the most support, the most structure. So we're going to add that exhale to almost create a corset around your spine. So we're going to inhale going down. Breathe the floor away from you. Inhale going down. Okay? Now notice my elbows stayed flared down towards my waist. Okay? They're not way up out to the side. This is probably the hardest part of a push-up. You might find that you do not have enough upper body strength to hold that position, okay? So you might find you get here and your booty wants to go way up in the air and your head wants to come way back here and your push-ups look like this, okay? This is so bad. What you need to do is you need to elevate your hands. So put your hands up on a chair or a couch and work on the same technique all the way from head to heel. So perfect line technique, exactly what I taught with your hands on the floor, but now your hands are just up on a chair. This is going to take some of the weight off of your shoulders, reduce some of the load so you can work on the perfect technique. As your body gets stronger, you'll eventually be able to come back down to the floor, position your hands properly, find that perfect plank, tuck the tails under, pack the shoulders, brace the hips, brace the abs. Blow the floor away from you. Okay, and there's a perfect push-up. Takes a lot of practice, but you can do it.